Part 2. Ethan's life in prison was a harsh reality he never imagined for himself. The stark contrast from being a celebrated athlete to an inmate was jarring. The days were long, filled with monotonous routines and the constant tension of prison life. Yet, the most painful part was the separation from Emily and the outside world. Each week, Emily visited him without fail. She brought books, homemade meals, and, most importantly, her unwavering faith in his innocence. Despite the bleak surroundings, their conversations were a ray of light for Ethan. Emily would share stories about her job as an elementary school teacher, the small triumphs and challenges she faced, and the support she received from her colleagues. "How are the kids?" Ethan would ask, a hint of a smile touching his lips. "They're wonderful," Emily replied, her eyes sparkling. "They keep me on my toes. Just yesterday, little Tommy decided that finger painting should extend to the walls of the classroom." Ethan chuckled, the sound a brief escape from his grim reality. "Sounds like you've got your hands full." Emily nodded, her expression softening. "I do, but I love it, and it helps keep my mind off things." Their conversations often drifted to memories of their time together before his imprisonment. They reminisce about their first dates, the long walks in the park, and the dreams they had shared. These memories were a lifeline for Ethan, a reminder of the life he hoped to return to. Despite the support from Emily, Ethan's life in prison was fraught with challenges. He faced harassment from other inmates and struggled with the oppressive atmosphere. Yet, he remained determined to maintain his innocence and prove that he was framed. Emily continued her visits, bringing not just physical sustenance but also emotional support. She spent countless hours researching legal options and speaking with anyone who would listen about Ethan's case. Her belief in his innocence never wavered, even when those around her urged her to move on. "Emily, you're wasting your time," one of her friends said during a lunch break. "Ethan's in prison for 20 years. You need to think about your own future." Emily's eyes flashed with determination. "I believe in Ethan. He's innocent, and I won't give up on him." Her resolve was tested time and again, especially when Jake, the leader of the area boys, approached her once more. Despite his attempts to lure her with gifts and money, Emily's rejection was firm and unwavering. "I'll never be with you, Jake," she said coldly. "I know what you did, and one day the truth will come out." Jake's smirk faltered for a moment, but he quickly regained his composure. "We'll see about that, Emily. We'll see." Ethan's case caught the attention of a young lawyer, Jessica Martinez, who had recently joined the panel that reviewed inmates' records for potential early release. Jessica was intrigued by Ethan's unwavering insistence on his innocence and the inconsistencies in his case. She decided to take a closer look, digging through old records, witness statements, and the scant evidence presented at his trial. The more she uncovered, the more convinced she became that something was amiss. Jessica visited Ethan in prison, sitting across from him in the sterile visiting room. "Mr. Richards, I'm Jessica Martinez. I've been reviewing your case, and I believe there might be grounds for an appeal." Ethan's eyes widened with a mixture of hope and disbelief. "You really think so?" Jessica nodded. "Yes, but it won't be easy. We need to gather new evidence and prove that you were framed. It will take time and effort." Ethan leaned forward, his expression intense. "I'll do whatever it takes. I just want my life back." With Jessica's help, Ethan and Emily embarked on a new legal battle. They sought out old witnesses, gathered new testimonies, and uncovered evidence that had been overlooked or ignored. Emily's persistence and Jessica's legal expertise formed a formidable team, driven by their shared goal of proving Ethan's innocence. As the months turned into years, the fight for justice continued. Ethan remained in prison, but the efforts of Jessica and Emily began to bear fruit. They found witnesses who were willing to testify that Ethan had been framed by Jake and his gang. New evidence emerged, casting doubt on the original investigation and the integrity of the police officers involved. Emily's visits to the prison were a source of strength for Ethan. Each time she came, she brought news of their progress, lifting his spirits and giving him hope. They celebrated small victories, knowing that each step brought them closer to their goal. One day, during a particularly challenging week, Emily brought a letter from Jessica. Ethan opened it with trembling hands, his heart pounding in his chest. "Ethan," Emily read aloud, "I have some good news. The court has agreed to hear your case. We have a chance to present the new evidence and prove your innocence." Tears filled Ethan's eyes as he looked at Emily. "Do you really think we can do it?" Emily squeezed his hand, her own eyes shining with tears. "I believe in you, Ethan. We've come this far, and we won't give up now." The day of the hearing finally arrived. Emily sat in the courtroom, her hands clenched in her lap as Jessica presented their case. The judge listened intently, his expression serious but attentive. Jessica outlined the flaws in the original investigation, the new evidence they had uncovered, and the testimonies of witnesses who had come forward to speak the truth. She argued passionately, making a compelling case for Ethan's innocence. Ethan, dressed in a suit provided by Emily, sat beside Jessica, his heart pounding. He glanced around the courtroom, taking in the faces of friends, family, and supporters who had come to stand by him. The prosecution tried to counter their arguments, but Jessica's meticulous preparation and unwavering determination proved formidable. As the hearing progressed, it became clear that the judge was taking their case seriously. After several days of intense testimony and arguments, the judge finally delivered his verdict. After careful consideration of the new evidence and testimonies, it is the court's decision that Ethan Richards is hereby exonerated of all charges. He is free to go. A collective gasp filled the courtroom, followed by an eruption of cheers and applause. Ethan stood in stunned silence, unable to fully process what had just happened. He felt Emily's arms around him, her tears of joy soaking his shoulder. "We did it, Ethan," she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. "You're free." Ethan's release from prison was a bittersweet moment. While he was overjoyed to be free, he faced the daunting task of rebuilding his life. The years in prison had left their mark, and he struggled with the stigma of being a former inmate. Emily stood by him every step of the way. She welcomed him into her home, providing a safe haven as he adjusted to life outside prison walls. She continued to work as a teacher, supporting them both financially and emotionally. Ethan's search for a job proved difficult. Despite his qualifications and skills, employers were hesitant to hire someone with a criminal record. The rejection and discrimination took a toll on his self-esteem, leading to bouts of depression. One evening, as they sat together on the porch, Ethan broke down in tears. "Why do you stay with me, Emily? I have nothing to offer you." Emily took his hands in hers, her gaze unwavering. "Because I love you, Ethan. I believe in you. We've been through so much together, and I know we'll get through this too." Her words were a balm to his wounded spirit. With renewed determination, Ethan continued his job search, taking on a part-time job as a street cleaner to contribute to their household. It wasn't glamorous, but it allowed him to feel useful and support Emily in some small way. 2 years after his release, just as things seemed their bleakest, Ethan received an unexpected phone call from Jessica. Initially hesitant to answer, he finally picked up, his heart pounding with anticipation. "Ethan, it's Jessica," she said. "I have some incredible news. After reviewing your case and the circumstances of your wrongful imprisonment, the court has decided to compensate you for the injustice you suffered. You're being awarded $10 million for wrongful sentencing and defamation of character." Ethan was stunned into silence. "Are you serious?" "Absolutely. You'll need to come to court tomorrow to sign the papers and collect the check." Hanging up the phone, Ethan sat in disbelief, the weight of the news sinking in. The next morning, he dressed in his best clothes and headed to the courthouse, too stunned to even tell Emily. At the courthouse, The same judge who had exonerated him presented the check, along with an apology for the suffering he had endured. Ethan accepted the check, tears streaming down his face, overwhelmed by the sudden turn of events. Later that day, Ethan called Emily while she was at work. "Emily, check your email. There's something I want you to see." Curious, Emily opened her email and gasped when she saw a $500,000 deposit alert from Ethan. "What is this?" she exclaimed. "It's real, Emily," Ethan replied, his voice filled with emotion. "We've been compensated for everything we've been through. I want you to go out, treat yourself, and get ready for a special dinner tonight." Emily, still in shock, did as Ethan instructed. She went to the spa, got her hair and nails done, and found a beautiful dress for the evening. The whole time, she was bubbling with excitement and disbelief. Could it really be true? Had their nightmare finally come to an end? Ethan, on the other hand, was preparing his own surprise. After his visit to the courthouse, he went shopping for a sharp new suit. He wanted to look his best for the special dinner he had planned. He couldn't wait to see the look on Emily's face when he shared the full story. That evening, they met at their favorite restaurant, a cozy Italian place that had been their go-to spot since high school. Emily walked in, her heart racing with anticipation. She spotted Ethan waiting at a corner table, looking more relaxed and happy than she had seen him in years. Ethan stood up as she approached, a broad smile spreading across his face. "You look beautiful," he said, kissing her cheek. "You don't look too bad yourself," Emily replied, smiling back. "So what's this all about?" Ethan took her hand and guided her to the table. "I wanted to celebrate our new beginning," he said, his voice trembling slightly. "But first, I have to tell you everything." As they settled in, Ethan recounted the events of the past few days, from the phone call with Jessica to the meeting at the courthouse. Emily listened in stunned silence, tears of joy and relief streaming down her face. "I can't believe it," she whispered when he finished. "This is a miracle." Ethan nodded, his own eyes glistening with tears. "I owe it all to you, Emily. You never gave up on me, even when everyone else did. I wouldn't be here without you." With the money from the settlement, Ethan and Emily's lives changed dramatically. Ethan was determined to make the most of this second chance. He invested a portion of the money wisely, ensuring their financial stability. He also made a significant donation to Jessica's law firm, grateful for her unwavering support and dedication to his case. One of the first things Ethan did was to buy Emily a beautiful house. It was a charming 2-story home with a large garden, something they had always dreamed about. He wanted to create a haven for them, a place where they could build their future together. Emily, in turn, encouraged Ethan to pursue his passions. He enrolled in a local university to finish his degree and began working part-time as a coach for a youth football team. His love for the sport and his ability to inspire young athletes quickly made him a favorite among the kids. Emily decided to take a break from teaching and focus on starting her own business. With Ethan's support, she opened a small bookstore and cafe, a place where people could come to enjoy good books and great coffee. The community embraced the new venture, and it quickly became a popular spot for locals. Despite their newfound wealth, Ethan and Emily remained humble and grateful. They never forgot the struggles they had faced and made a conscious effort to give back to their community. They supported local charities, volunteered at shelters, and helped those in need. 2 years after his release from prison, Ethan felt it was time to take the next step in their relationship. He had been planning a surprise for Emily, something special to show her how much she meant to him. On a crisp autumn day, Ethan asked Emily to take a walk with him in the park, where they had spent so many afternoons together. As they strolled hand in hand, Ethan's heart raced with anticipation. When they reached a secluded spot by the lake, Ethan paused and turned to Emily, his eyes filled with love. "Emily, there's something I've been wanting to ask you," he said, his voice shaking slightly. Emily looked up at him, her heart pounding. "What is it, Ethan?" Ethan took a deep breath and got down on one knee, pulling a small velvet box from his pocket. He opened it to reveal a stunning diamond ring that sparkled in the sunlight. "Emily Carter, you are the love of my life," Ethan began, his voice filled with emotion. "You stood by me through the darkest times and believed in me when no one else did. I can't imagine my life without you. Will you marry me?" Tears streamed down Emily's face as she nodded, her voice choked with emotion. "Yes, Ethan. Yes, I will marry you." Ethan slipped the ring onto her finger, and they embraced, their hearts overflowing with joy. The moment was perfect, a testament to their enduring love and the strength they had found in each other. The months leading up to the wedding were a whirlwind of excitement and planning. Emily and Ethan wanted their special day to be a celebration of their love and the journey they had been through together. They chose a beautiful vineyard as the venue, with rolling hills and lush greenery providing a stunning backdrop. Emily's friends and family helped with the arrangements, ensuring that every detail was perfect. On the day of the wedding, the sun shone brightly, casting a warm glow over the vineyard. Emily walked down the aisle in a simple, elegant gown, her heart pounding with happiness. Ethan stood at the altar, looking dapper in a tailored suit, his eyes locked on Emily as she approached. Their vows were heartfelt and emotional, reflecting the deep bond they shared. Ethan thanked Emily for her unwavering support and promised to cherish her for the rest of his life. Emily, in turn, expressed her gratitude for Ethan's love and strength, vowing to stand by him through all of life's challenges. As they exchanged rings and sealed their vows with a kiss, the crowd erupted in applause. It was a moment of pure joy, a culmination of their love and resilience. After the wedding, Emily and Ethan settled into their new life together. They continued to run the bookstore and cafe, which had become a beloved community hub. Ethan's coaching career flourished, and he found fulfillment in mentoring young athletes and helping them achieve their dreams. Their love only grew stronger with each passing day. They supported each other through the ups and downs, always finding strength in their bond. They traveled together, explored new places, and created countless memories. Ethan and Emily also remained committed to giving back to their community. They started a scholarship fund for underprivileged students, ensuring that others had the opportunity to pursue their dreams. They volunteered at local shelters and supported various charitable organizations. Years passed, and their family grew. They welcomed 2 beautiful children into their lives, a boy and a girl, who brought even more joy and love into their home. Ethan and Emily were devoted parents, raising their children with the same values of love, resilience, and compassion that had guided their own journey. Through it all, they never forgot the challenges they had faced and the strength they had found in each other. Their story was a testament to the power of love, hope, and perseverance. It was a reminder that, no matter how dark the times, there is always a glimmer of light and a chance for a new beginning. And so, the story of Ethan and Emily reminds us that love, trust, and perseverance can overcome even the darkest trials. From the innocence of high school dances to the harrowing fight for justice, their journey teaches us valuable lessons about life and the strength of the human spirit. Lessons learned. 1. Trust your intuition. Emily's instincts warned her of danger, highlighting the importance of listening to our inner voice. 2. The power of love. Emily's unwavering support for Ethan shows how love can give strength in the toughest times. 3. Choose your friends wisely. Ethan's association with the wrong crowd demonstrates the impact of our social circle on our lives. 4. Stand for justice great. Even when the odds are against you, persistence and belief in the truth can lead to redemption. 5. Hope overcomes despair. No matter how dark the situation, hope can be a guiding light toward resolution. If this story moved you, hit the like button, share it with someone who needs a dose of inspiration, and don't forget to subscribe for more tales of love, resilience, and life lessons. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. What lessons stood out most to you? See you in the next video.